for the past years, having been in the region, for the past 25 years, when I started coming home, I was lacking because it was a newly region being created. And then we needed some facilities. I've seen that most of the facilities are lacking over here. And I wonder how people are transferred here, whether they're also feeling things like how the southern side is. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to put up such facilities so that to get employment for the youth and at the same time improve the social life of the people.
And that was the man when he was still among us, when he still walked among us. And now, unfortunately, sadly, his life has been taken away from him. He was stabbed multiple times, and we know for a fact that this was not a natural occurrence. But to give us more scope on what exactly happened, we are joined by Rafiq Salam, who joins us from Drapa. Rafiq, just walk us through one more time. What exactly happened in the last few days, which has brought us to this point where we are talking about this murder that has been committed? And what is the latest in respect of the police and the arrests that have been made?
Snippet of information that we have gathered from Drapa indicates that this alleged crime actually took place on the dead of the night. That was on Sunday. And so it's alleged that the unknown assailant got into the compound of the private residence of Eric Johnson using a ladder from the back of the house. And so when he was aided by the ladder, he jumped into the compound and then got into the hall of the private residence of Eric Johnson. And then after that, he's alleged to have used a master key to open the room of Eric Johnson, met him, who was somehow wearing a towel. Believe that he may have come from the bathroom. And so looked at his body, saw a lot of, wounds around his abdomen, around his chest, and also cheeks. That clearly means that these were marks of assault, and then it's indicating that he was allegedly stabbed by this unknown assailant. And then after that, this unknown assailant picked the push key of the car of Eric Johnson, and then drove the car, got to the main gate, and then honked for his security man to open it to go out. And he finally left the car at the middle of town and went away. So these are the snippets of information that we have gotten from the area. And then also yesterday, when I got to the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel, the hotel itself, the private residence or the executive mansion shares a wall with the hotel. So I got to the hotel to speak to workers of the hotel to see what was really happening. All the workers that we attempted to speak to, all of them were muted. They were tight-lipped. They told us that they didn't know anything about what was happening at the place. We tried to put it to them that whether they are aware that their boss is allegedly being killed. They said, no, we are not aware of any other thing. And so we also went our own ways, and then we were able to get into the compound of the executive mansion, and that was where we met the police and met some workers, senior officers, senior workers, senior workers of the management members of the hotel, and they were there with the police, and there were about a dozen policemen stationed at the compound. And after that, the body of Eric, the lifeless body of Eric, was moved to the Upper West Regional Hospital, Hamburg, and that was where he was deposited for further investigation. What we are also told of is that the IGP has dispatched a team of crack CIDs, including the Director General of CID, to come into the region. My information here indicates that he's not in yet they are not in that team is yet you know, to come to the region. We are told that in the next few hours they would be here and they will just move straight to Jirapa. And so that's the information that we have gotten from the police. So they have started investigation on the issue. They have arrested 5. The first, they arrested 1 person. And
Hello, Rafiq. All right, so we appear to have lost contact with Rafiq. We'll try to re-establish contact with Rafiq Salam. But yes, the owner of the Cosy Hills Hotel, popularly known as Drapa Dubai, has lost his life in this gruesome manner. Rafiq, you were making a point. We lost you briefly.
yeah, I said that the police in the last 24 hours came up with a statement that they have arrested 1 person, and then 3 or so hours later, they also told us that they arrested 4 more, including the deputy CEO of the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel, or I prefer to call him the project manager of the place, Michael Kulugi. They have been arrested for now, and the police are saying that they are leaving no stone unturned in trying to unravel the mystery surrounding the death of Eric Johnson.
And this is a really sad development. Of course, with the vehicle that was left, some of us would jump to forensics and, you know, all of that. But we'll leave the police to do that work. Before you go, though, how have the people of Drapa, if you've interacted with any of them, apart from the staff at the Cosy Hills Hotel, how have people reacted to this situation? And generally, in security terms, what have you heard?
There's a envelope. The Jirapa city is enveloped with disappointment, sadness, anger, and then also grief, because some of them wish that they have known this unknown assailant, they will have dealt with him. You know, they are really disappointed that this is somebody who came to develop our area. Without Jirapa Cosy Hills Hotel or Jirapa Dubai, nobody will have heard of Jirapa. You know, but this is somebody who has a heart for the area, who had a greater part of his life, about 25 years outside the country, came to develop this area. And then almost all big conferences are in the region were taking place there. And it really increased commercial activities in this area. For 1 person to stab them in the back, they are not really happy about the situation. Some of the people that we spoke to told us that it is not only the people of Jirapa that the unknown assailant has stabbed, not only the people of the Upper West region or the Northern Belt, but the whole country. Because this is somebody who loves tourism, who loves to develop his people, who loves to develop, you know, the tourist sites, and so he will be greatly missed. And so the people of Jirapa are really mourning, and they are not in the best of terms. And some of them even will not even speak to us because they are angered about what really transpired, and they think that it has really soiled, you know, the good, the good relationship, the good reputation of the place, because Jirapa is not going to be a criminal hub, and for something like that to happen, they are not really happy with what transpired the last 24 hours.
You don't have to respond to this question if you don't have the necessary information, but is there any suspicion? I've heard a few things. Is there any suspicion that these assailants may not have come from Drapa itself?
You know, from the way that the act was executed, I am not a security man, but you would think that it was done professionally, because the person got it asked very well, starting from when he used a ladder, where he used the ladder, and the way he jumped into the compound of the private residence of Eric. And also the timing, to know that at this particular time, he will be in the room. You know, Akapo have been to the Royal Cosy Hills Hotel, and I've been to the private residence of Eric Johnson several times. But you will know which of the rooms that Eric stays. You must be somebody who knows the place very well, who was well guided to know that this is where Eric lives. Because the place where this incident is alleged to have taken place His room is just like a toilet. You know, you think that the door is for a toilet. And so for somebody to know that this is where somebody lives in that particular place is really surprising. But also let me tell you that Eric has also taken his personal security very seriously. You know, at the executive mansion, the private residence, you can't just enter there without Eric. Nobody have access to this place without Eric. I have been there more than a dozen of times, but I have never entered this room. I have never seen anybody entering this room without you being in his car. You don't even use your own car to enter. He picks you on his car to the place. And so the other thing is that the person, this unknown assailant, the only route after he jumped inside the compound to go out was that route he used, because he couldn't have walked to the security man and asked him to open him, because he must be in the car. Because after jumping, there was no ladder there for him to jump out.
So this person clearly had all the information required to execute this, which points to, in some way, it could be, we're not saying it is, but it could be an inside job, because the person knew that even to get out, there's only one way, and it has to be with the person's vehicle, and then they left it off. But we'll leave the rest to the police.
The other way was also to come from the hotel side and enter, and which is a small door. If you are not an insider, you wouldn't know that there's a door that moves in there. I have seen Eric use that particular door several times. I've never used it until yesterday, when I wanted to enter the place and I was telling the police that I want to enter. They told me that the gates were locked, and I pointed to the police that there's a door here that can lead you to the residence.
Right. Well, Rafiq,
it was there that I went in with the police, and I went into the place.
Thank you, Rafiq Salam, for bringing us the scoop on this really sad development. Not an end you would wish even on your worst enemy. But the police is investigating that, and we'll see what pans out with that owner of Drapa Dubai losing his life in this manner. But